you have something you want to share? You've been quiet.
I'm holding the mic.
We have Pat here too. I'm going to go to Pat and then I'll come back to you.
That's part of what I wanted to say is a person who's planning a meeting has that role of planning the meeting, and the webcast, the virtual meeting, can't be just an afterthought and an add-on. It has to be completely produced in sync with what the meeting planner wants to do for the live meeting so that you engage both audiences. You don't want the people that are there face-to-face bored to death. Like if you watch some of the award shows on TV, they're produced strictly for television, the television audience, because that's where the sponsorship money is. And the people in the audience are pretty bored during commercials and so on.
We are too sometimes.
And me too. But you really have to have the most dynamic speakers, the right production, not necessarily over the top, but like you said, the right lighting, the right sound, so that everybody is heard. There's no feedback and so on. And a speaker who's rehearsed with you so you know what you want. I love the idea of having an MC for the virtual audience. And it has to be really produced, not just planned. And it has to be produced together as a team so you have that community and everything that you want. It's not a simple thing. And I think you've done a remarkable job with this on a shoestring.
On a shoestring is very true. Very true.
I totally agree with what you say, that event people are community managers, really. Because I consider myself, the way I look at my job as the person that runs this media operation, is I'm the mayor of my niche. And that everything I do
is that on
to
Foursquare
help raise,
too?
No, actually not. Everything I do is I'm raising level, because I don't compete with anybody. I'm here to raise the level of whatever community I'm doing. And that's what we are as an event planner. We want to make everybody feel better. But, see, what was my point? Oh, this is what I was going to say. I forgot. But what I've been doing at events is taking my Mac, putting a camera on it for trade shows, and walking around from booth to booth as the CEO of the company and interviewing people.
That's great.
And you see the numbers of the tweets going like this, and then when you hit a boring booth, it goes like this, and then, and people are actually get business from it, because I've had people that actually have said, oh, I want to see that person, and they connect directly with that other person. So it's not really, a lot of times at an event, it's behind the scenes. It's to let them feel like they're networking in the hallway, as opposed to just hearing the conference. So that's my point.
We've all seen the live award shows where you get to see behind the scenes that the audience doesn't get to see, but the remote watcher does. And if you can do that in an event, it's really cool. It is special.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that those of us who are particularly involved with this community do see this as kind of a community management kind of thing. However, I will also say that my experience in dealing with a lot of event planners, in the corporate world and just event planners in general, is this is a big cultural shift for them. Part of the reason that event planners like their jobs is because they are short-term projects that have a very specific beginning and a very specific end. And they don't see themselves as community managers. They don't see themselves as customer advocates. They don't see themselves as, customer relationship people. And so I think part of what event profs can do is to start to help make that cultural shift for event planners, to get them to understand that their job is a customer-facing job. A lot of them don't actually believe that.
That's very good. I've got like 3 or 4 minutes. I just want to make sure that some of these other questions have been addressed. Anybody have a dying question that's just burning and then that we didn't get to address? I think here's a good one. How do you involve late adopters? I think that's a very good one. How do you involve people who don't have the skill set or the experience that want to attend remotely? What do you do? Anybody? Teach them. Jim, talk more to that. Who's got the mic?
The biggest mistake we make is assuming everybody has the skill set ready to go and usable. And I think what all meeting planners forget to do is the more they educate their environment, the more they educate their folks about the tools that are there, walk them through it, create sessions at their events where they can have hands-on, the more they're actually nurturing their organization to be able to utilize the tools. And I think what most planners do is they just assume, okay, everyone has an iPhone now, so we can talk about this. No, show them the app, show them what's there, and make it relevant for them. Here are 3 things that you could take out of this. You talked about a 10-minute time spent. I always taught with a 20-minute, the old 90-22 rule.
Right,
You know,
right.
we can sit for 90 minutes, we can focus on a topic for 20, and we learn 2 minutes out of it. So you always have to go in thinking about what's your 2 minutes. You know, if you can get that, and because of the interactivity, that 2 minutes now has to be repeated. So you have to say
Yep.
it 4 or 5 times because you don't know when someone's engaged in tweeting or taking notes and are missing the point
Sure.
right there.
Sure. Go ahead.
I would just add motivation. Everyone had a first time. You know, there was the day when you decided to do Twitter the first time. So they have to be motivated some way that is their benefit. So what's in it for them? Some way that will get them over the bump of resistance, of not having time, of whatever it is. So if it's a clearly compelling reason,
Okay.
then it's less about, I don't know it, but how do I get there?
I always,
Don't make fun of them, please.
right. I always say, particularly, here's how I would get people involved in an e-community. In the association that I just left, we did a velvet rope community. And what we did is we took 30 of our leaders and we spent 30 days with them teaching them how to use the system before we ever opened it up. And we let them become our champions. And we actually picked our board, people that were the leaders in the organization that had bought into, we need to have this velvet rope e-community for our members only. And then we really let 50 more in. After that, we handpicked another 50, let them in. So then we had 80 champions. And then we opened it up to everybody, and it just took off. So we taught them, and we did all of it remotely. We did all of it virtually. And we let them play with it. We let them make mistakes and told them it was okay to make a mistake, that you learn from failure, and it's okay. And it is one of the most robust things that NADP has right now because everybody is bought into it. And this membership e-community on a daily basis has about 500 active people in it all the time. So,
Just a really quick share, really quick. Just want to say my name is Deborah, and after this meeting, I'm going to make my first Twitter. Just wanted to let you all know.
oh, yay! She's gonna, her first tweet, and we're all gonna retweet it, right? It is 4 o'clock. We're out of time. I really want to be cognizant of that because I don't want you to miss Deidre. And so if you have more questions, you can stay around and ask everybody else. Otherwise, we're going to be going to the room down the hall. Okay. Thank you.